just gotta know. I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready? Oh, I said, are you ready?
Welcome everybody to Serenyx League Week 3. I'm Sporty FC. Joining me is Alex for some best of 5 action. The Elite Division returns, and so does Adapt Esports, taking on Evolve Nova now. Week 3, best of 5. Both teams are 2-2. Who's gonna get Week 3 off to a good start?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Thanks for having me on the desk. This is my first ever league coverage of Serenyx League, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm really looking forward to this great game. I mean, like you said, these teams are 2-2, looking to break out in this week 3 matchup, and I just, again, can't wait to see what type of gameplay we're gonna have. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, of course, and we're always glad to have people here. We're always glad to have these teams return again. Adapt Esports has already been on the stream a couple of times, but again, Evolve Nova, their current matchup here, used to be known as Axiom Nova before they moved organizations. So both these teams, though, coming into this one, 2-2 for both sides. And in fact, this is not the only time we're going to be seeing Evolve Nova tonight. They have a doubleheader tonight, so after this match, they'll be taking on their other week 3 match against Solace Path Vanguard. So Evolve Nova, a busy night. All week 3 matches are today, and they're going to look to make the best of this. Right now, their record is 2-2. We'll see. By the end of the night, they could be 4-2, they could be 2-4, they could be 3-3. We'll just have to see where things go. The fortunate thing is, for both their matches, they're both against 2-2 rosters, so they're both against teams similar in ranking to them right now. And especially when in the middle of the group, when the playoff spots are very few and far between, you're going to have to make sure that you win matches, especially against teams that are right up there with you.
Yeah, and for Evolve, this first match will set the tempo for the rest of the night, and it can go either way. You want to, if you're going into 2 matches back to back, you want to get a strong, definitive game or series this series, and then that'll carry over for the later game, especially when you're getting a bit more tired after a long series. So the goal for Evolve tonight is to just go out there, maybe keep it to the minimum, like the most, maybe 4 games. You don't want to go to that 5th, because then you're overthinking a lot of stuff of what happened this past series. You get the job done, move on to the next. They'll end up 4-2 by the end of the night.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, it's not exactly an easy season either. There's only so many teams here. There's only 12 teams in this group, and get a reminder, of those 12 teams, the top 8 do make it. So right now, they're in a good position here, Evolve Nova, at that number 8 seed. Now, it's a bit close because there's teams behind them and there's teams ahead of them. Adapt right now at number 7. Again, a reminder, later tonight we'll be seeing SB Vanguard. They're at the number 6 spot. So all these teams right next to each other right now in the seedings, but again, the top 8 make that double elimination final bracket. And again, it's 6 weeks of action to get to that point, so you don't have that many matches. You play everybody once. You got to make sure that when you're playing at your best here. So everybody is going to be competing quite soon. But again, we got to talk about this first matchup here in who we have here. Evolve Nova, a roster of 4. Rain, Nukoka, Soag, and Snaffries, taking on Adapt Esports with Nick, J-Rod, and Bistro. So we've already seen Adapt before again. 2-2 record. They were here, I remember, in week 1 as well when they took on SP Eclipse. But again, all these teams at this point, they're 2-2. And while we might be talking a lot about Evo, and that's because they are that team that right now that's playing twice tonight. Everybody playing tonight wants the same thing. They all want to get those wins against other close teams, and they all want to definitely have a much better position than they are right now, because at this point right now, all 3 of the teams that are playing tonight really close to being outside of that final bracket qualification, outside of the grouping, and once you go outside of that top 8, it's very tough to find your way to fight back in it.
Yeah, and with the cutoff being top 8, you need to prove in, week out, that you can get the job done. Like I said before, if you see any sort of kind of not as coherent as you thought you were, teams are going to try and take advantage of that. They're going to be looking at those bad games and your good games. So if you consistently prove that you are a good team with good players, you'll be fine. You'll make that top 8, you'll reach what you need to reach, and you'll be smooth sailing. You'll be a team that people need to be wary of going into playoffs.
Definitely. I mean, you're not wrong. That part of the question is obviously how well you're playing to get into that playoff position. But again, we just got to see how these teams play tonight, as we are again waiting on Evolve Nova to show up for their first matchup. But again, we'll get these players in. It's going to be really interesting. I'm excited to see how things will go. And again, for Evolve Nova, I'm sure they'll be interested because, again, tonight is both their week 3 matches. They need, in theory, they got to make sure they get those wins tonight because again, they only play these teams about once a season. They only play these teams so few times. So you have to be able to find wins because, simply put, not only is this going to be, them qualifying for the final bracket, it's also practice against teams that they might play in that final bracket. I mean, there's not that many teams playing in this first circuits, and knowing everybody that you're going to be playing against is a big deal. Knowing who you're playing against is going to be important. You only have so many weeks to learn.
Yeah, and this is already week 3. I mean, we're talking about what people are going to be looking at. This is actually going to be a big, big week for a lot of these teams. Week 3, week 4 out of an 8-week league. Those are the matches that count. How do you deal under this pressure where a lot of teams are moving around? Some have done very well in the season so far. Some have done poorly. But will some of those poorly teams might make another run at it? Might be able to surprise some people. So yes, you want to focus on this game, absolutely. But once you're done with this, check, see who's making some moves. Who got better over someone that maybe you didn't do as well against. Those are the teams that are going to come in out of nowhere and be like, hey, by the way, we're good. You just didn't give us a chance. So always be wary about that, but always put on the best performance that you can, so that way everybody knows that you are a threat, that they need to focus on your match when they face you.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, there's still a long way to go. And you mentioned it's an 8-week season, 2 matches per week. There's a lot more matches to go. This is only week 3. We're not even at the halfway point of the season. We're talking about playoffs. These teams right now are just focused on getting wins and getting themselves into a good position for the end of the season. And again, with all these teams, how they're doing 2-2, not a great record at the beginning point of the season. These teams need to do better, and this is kind of the point where they have to be able to do better. So, again, definitely a real question. So, again, we'll see how things go. Right now, as we are again waiting on both teams to join. As again, it is reminder, it is Adapt Esports versus Evolve Nova. Evo standing for Evolve Nova, not Team Evo. Here, and again, we'll just have to see how these teams perform. There's definitely a good amount of pressure on these rosters, and at this point, again, it's league matches, all best of 5s, and for Evolve Nova being a doubleheader, they're gonna have, again, we have 8 weeks of doubleheaders, or I guess of 2 matches each. Doubleheaders don't come often. And you mentioned as well about momentum, Alex, here as well, in that the momentum that Evolve Nova gets from this match is going to carry over to the next one, and I don't disagree with you on that one. I mean, do you want to elaborate a little bit more on what you mean exactly by like the momentum of the series getting to the next one? Because you mentioned as well about how wins are going to help, how losses are going to hurt. Talk to me a little bit more about kind of what that momentum is like for the players on Evolve Nova.
So one of the biggest things that lead into how players play is their momentum coming from previous games or previous series. So if you have the first game, you might lose 6-2, but if you're down 6 and you get those 2 goals, you might be able to carry the momentum into the next game, kind of catch them off guard and kind of produce more with how you play. And that's the same thing with series, is that if you end your series, you get it done, you get it over, that gives you a second. It lets you calm everything down. You get to look into what we need to do and go with it. You don't need to be stressing as much about, oh, well, we just got done with a game. We just played 5 games. Look at what we did wrong here, 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 and here. You can do that after 3 or 4 games. But then you have 10, 15 minutes where you can just calm yourself down, go into free play, get warmed up, do something as a team coherently to be able to produce more. And I think momentum in this game is just absolutely massive.
Well, we'll see how that momentum goes. Everybody's ready, and that means so are we. Adapt Esports and Evolve Nova. Adapt on the blue, Evolve on the orange. And your first of 2 best of 5 tonights for the Evolve Nova double header. Here we go. Both teams are 2-2. The pressure, you said it, it's on. And as we approach that halfway point, both these teams at 2-2 records. I'm sure a lot of people will be asking for improvement as the season goes, there's only 8 spots in that final bracket and 12 teams competing, and with both these teams at 2-2 records, these wins, especially at this point in the middle point of your season against other teams of similar record, do matter. Evolve's gonna bring that early pressure, but getting countered by Adapt Esports right now. Evolve trying to push up, double commit for Adapt, but across comes Nick here, and they'll get rid of the danger, at least for now. Evolve and Adapt both kind of in that feel-out phase. No goals just yet, but pressure surely mounting as in comes Serenyx. Stopped by Nick. J-Rod will get clear, and Adapt Esports get out of a pickle early.
Well, don't hold your breath yet, because they might be getting one here. Evolve just applying all the pressure. This is the momentum that they need, and there it is! Serenyx opens the scoring in a minute in. It's 1-0 Evolve.
You said as well, Evolve off to an amazing start there. J-Rod flat-footed in net. And that's the issue that you take whenever you sit in the middle of the net like that and you face outwards with the front of your car. It's actually very tough to reach those back, to reach the side posts, especially one where you have to make a sort of 120-degree angle to go behind where your car is standing. An awkward play for Adapt, and Evolve Nova catching the back post open. But if we know anything about this Adapt side, they love comebacks and they like to keep matches close as well. Again, that first match we got to see of them was a series that went to 5 games against SP Eclipse. They did lose that series in Game 5, unable to create the reverse sweep, but we know this team likes to keep matches close, and Evolve, that means they're going to stay on their toes for the rest of the series. This is not going to be a match where they're going to get goals for free. They're going to have to work for it, and likely they're going to have to see some danger, but in comes Kaden. Evolve Nova have a second goal, and Adapt Esports not off to a good start here as a whiff from Nick, and Kaden will be first to it.
The pressure is mounting against Adapt. 2 goals in the first 1.5 minutes. You have to find something here. And if you don't, there goes your chances of this series, or at least this first game. They need to find the pressure, and that is all right now in favor of Evolve. Serenyx trying to get through. Rain now on the ball. J-Rod trying to 50 him. Kaden, can he clear it out? Yes, he can. Bistro right there. Kaden beats the 50, but Nick pinches it back to the middle. Rain and Serenyx on the attack. What do we see here? They're going into the other way. That's a pinch. Is that just in? Nick clears it away, but Kaden is back in. Can he get one in the middle? No, he can't, but he gets a bump. Serenyx, shot, miss. Kaden misses as well. And Rain tries to go one more time, but Adapt cleared the pressure.
Adapt Esports starves for offense right now. Very few opportunities to speak of, and even fewer that they've had any chance of going. Only 1 shot on target so far through the halfway point of Game 1. Evolve Nova have had their number here so far. And for Adapt, a team that is known to have their issues on offense already, in terms of shooting accuracy, the fact they don't even have chances to speak of is only making things worse. And Evolve, they're not done. They're still bringing on pressure. Kaden will take out Bistro. Rain gets beat. This ball trundling to the back wall, but it won't go in. Kaden's whiffed. It is open in front, but he'll clear it past Nick. And Rain will be there. Serenyx will be up next as well. And Evolve Nova will get rid of the danger for now, but Adapt Esports, their best chance so far, still very few chances in this game. 2 shots for Adapt to the 7 of Evolve. With how Game 1 is looking, Evolve Nova would like to keep it that way.
The shot total comparison goes up farther as Serenyx gets his 2nd goal of the game. And there is the dagger to start off this series. 8 shots to 2 in favor of Evolve. Let's get back underway with 1:30 left. 3-0 Evolve.
Yeah, very rarely do teams ever lose a lead when they're in this kind of dominant position. But we've seen it happen before on this stream, and you can never really count out any side like Adapt Esports. They've proven before they can make these comebacks, and it just feels like for Game 1, the big issue has just come into the fact that they have not been able to get anywhere near the kind of offense that they would need in a series that they can win. Evolve Nova have shut them down right now, have controlled the midfield, and again, have given them very little to speak of, while the latter half of this game has been a little bit more open for Adapt Esports. They haven't had that many opportunities, and really have had even less to speak of. But again, for now, it's Game 1, and I think for Adapt, they've learned pretty quickly here that this Evolve team is not a team that you want to mess around with. They'll find ways to take shots, they'll find ways to take goals. And with Game 1 nearing its end, Evolve Nova at this point just letting the time do the rest of the work for them, as Adapt Esports still have not scored yet.
And all these shots lead to goals for this Devolve team. There's 4. Rain gets his first. Every single player on this Evolve team has scored in this game 1. There's 30 seconds left. This is an absolute dominant performance. There goes the ding. Now we're back underway.
4 goals for Evolve Nova. No questions about how good this game has been and who's going to be winning at this point. It's just a question of how much longer will we have to wait here watching game 1. Evolve Nova, the start of the doubleheader. And it's an amazing game 1, an immaculate performance in many aspects. Again, that control in the midfield, just strong right now. And again, they're taking advantage of one of the biggest weaknesses for Adapt, and that is, again, their shooting accuracy. They are a team that needs to shoot a lot if they are to win games. They don't get that many goals for a lot of shots. And Evolve Nova, they recognize that, and that's why they're giving them less shots, less opportunity to score, because they know that shooting accuracy has not been Adapt's strong point, and it's continuing to hurt them here with less opportunities to speak of. They have no goals in game 1. They've been shut out as well. Evolve Nova, a 4-0 win in game 1. And considering that's just the start of the series, Adapt Esports are going to need to find a way back, because Evolve just looks better. Evolve, if they continue this kind of pressure, I don't know if Adapt Esports can beat them.
11 shots to 4 says the stats, and that is what we have seen here. The absolute pressure coming from this Evolve team has taken its toll on Adapt Esports. We will probably see it consistently throughout this series, Evolve just running away from games. But if Adapt can get 1 goal, that can change the tide of the whole series.
We'll have to see. But at this point, for Adapt, they're still looking for their first goal of this series. They're still looking for their first time to put the ball in the net. And they didn't have that many chances in game 1, but I do feel like there's going to be more chances in game 2. They've had time. They've adapted. They've had to do it before in matches where they've had to adapt. And I'm sure they're not a team that's going to be against making those adaptations, but they're going to have to find ways to score. And simply put, they're not going to win if they don't get themselves on offense. So for now, the real question in game 2 is how much offense are they going to get? Are they going to find a way to improve from last game? Or are they going to find a way to improve heavily from last game? Is the real question I have for Adapt Esports. Because simply put, game 1, they can't have that repeat itself, or else they are going to see the exact same result all over again. And with it being a best of 5 series, it doesn't take too long for these matches to get out of hand.
And Evolve, on the other side, needs to keep the pressure up. If they try to start getting complacent here, wait, there might be a shot here. J-Rod, can he save it? Yes, he can. Caden shoots, fakes one, Caden, goal! There's the opening, there's the goal. And that is how you break a deadlock.
Yeah, and you saw there, Serenyx put the early pot shot on J-Rod, forced to jump back, could not recover in the net in time, and Caden, little break check in front, just breaks the ankles of Adapt Esports. But Evolve Nova, off to a strong start, and considering they were the team playing most of the defense in that first minute, it's the simple counterattack, it's the simple offense. Here's the difference between teams, between Adapt Esports and a lot of other teams in this division. And Adapt Esports, again, their offense just hasn't been able to find really an effective nature. And Evolve Nova, fully recognizing that as they'll go once again to the back wall. Nick will be there for it, but Aiden once more unable to get a challenge on J-Rod. But it does set up things for Serenyx. Up goes Rain, gets by 1 as Evolve Nova trying to open up the backfield as J-Rod on low boost. Will have room to work with. That touch finds Nick. Rain, the save, Caden off the post, and this one will be kept in front. Rain will get another save as Caden will leave it for Serenyx, and Evolve Nova will get through the midfield, find more offense, and at the very least, will push Adapt Esports back a little bit more, but not for very long. And Adapt have another chance that once again will get blocked. Still no goals so far this series for Adapt Esports. They're continuing to look for answers, and Evolve Nova continuing to push them back.
Like you said, Adapt is looking for answers, but the one asking all the questions is this Evolve side. They have been running rampant, but what can they do here? There's 1v2 in the positions. Rain and Caden both went up. The boost management is coming in very nicely for this Evolve team, but what can they do here? Beat Serenyx, can't even beat the first. Bistro goes down to Nick. Nobody's there. J-Rod to clear it at least a little bit away. Can he push his way through this Evolve defense? No, he cannot. Rain beats one, but gets bumped on the other way to go. J-Rod, what can he do here? Whiffs it. Kaden, can he get a shot here? No, he can't. Goes back the other way for Adapt. There's a bump. There's a demo though. It's a 2v1. Can J-Rod clear it? Yes, he can. Nick's right there. There's another demo. Bistro gets down to Nick. Nick, the other demo. The demos are coming in insane amounts for this Adapt team. He gets a flick. Can he get another one? No, he can't. J-Rod, can he get it into the middle? Nick's turning away. Serenyx, can he clear it? Yes, he can. And now we go the other way. Nick, can he get a touch here? No, he can't. J-Rod, almost. Kaden, down to the middle. J-Rod to clear. Double commit by Evolve. Now we have another chance, but Bistro is taking it the other way.
You mentioned a lot about those demos from Adapt Esports trying to find any way to get through even Evolve Nova, and it feels like those demos are the secret right now to beating Evolve. This is a team that is relying a lot more on those rotations than many other teams would. And you can tell when those demos come through, this team does not exactly have a plan in place to respond to having a player removed. And it's definitely a different tactic here, as now you can see these rotations starting to fall apart as J-Rod will be stopped by Kaden here. Feels like Adapt Esports just needs one good opportunity with a minute to go. They've set themselves up for success, but they still haven't scored yet. It's been almost 10 full minutes, but that might change it. It's off the post. It's in front, and in comes Bistro crashing through. Almost 10 minutes of goallessness, but Adapt Esports finally put one past Evolve.
That is what they needed. Now, 45 seconds. Can they get another one, or are we going to overtime? We are about to find out. Kaden, 50ing Serenyx. What can he do here? He has been on fire this previous series. Nothing there, nothing to it. Good, clear by Nick, going the other way. Low boost, however. Nick gets his 100. J-Rod in control. Yes, he can. He gets demoed. Rain, 1v1, beats him. No, he doesn't. Bistro keeping him alive. Kaden, it's in the middle. Who's there? No one's there. As we go the other way, Bistro clears. And now, we got more pressure from this Adapt team.
10 seconds to go, and with Adapt Esports finally finding that confidence, just about being able to keep that going, as Evolve Nova looking for one last chance here in regulation. That ball will hit the floor, and we have overtime in Game 2. Evolve Nova may have dominated Game 1. This game, though, has been anything but that in Adapt Esports. We talked about last game having only 3 chances. They've only had 4 this game, but the big difference is that Evolve only have 4 chances themselves. It's been a lot more even, and Adapt Esports have done a much better job at stopping Evolve Nova from taking offense. And again, themselves, a lot of the ways they've done it has been through those demos, has been through aggressive challenges, being higher up on the field, taking out players, recognizing where Evolve Nova lack. But it is overtime. 1 goal will win it. And Evolve Nova, so far this game, you still feel like maybe they're the favorites. It's still in this game. It's going to take a lot more for Adapt Esports to take the win here, but that's the kind of position they're in. After how Game 1 went for them, they've got to find ways to really turn this one around. Turn the tables, turn the tides, find a way to break through. Evolve, the team right now is sitting pretty, but Adapt Esports can absolutely play for a bit more of an upset.
I always feel like overtimes are just another different type of game. I mean, only 1 goal is like playing those private matches with your friends. Oh, first one to score? Sure, but it takes forever. But here they go again. This is where the momentum shifts in the favor of Adapt. They are applying all the pressure needed, but there they are, evolving in their defense. But can they get this offense rolling?
Still can't seem to do so here. That they've had a lot better challenges, and I love how quickly Adapt Esports respond to each other too. This is a team that is bringing a far better rotational aspect than Evolve did, and it's kind of interesting to say considering how well Evolve Esports played those passes in Game 1, but it's definitely different now. You can tell Adapt Esports finding those rotations, finding those connections, but Evolve might find a breakthrough as Nick able to get that block away. Serenyx jumping, beat anyways as Rain and Kaden both racing back. Nick will be first to it, but unable to get much going. Kaden gets by at all three in space, doesn't have the boost to work with though, and he'll leave this one away. Rain can't get a challenge on Bistro. Serenyx, Nick in anyways, as here goes J-Rod. Open room, 2 go for Evolve Nova. But Serenyx will be waiting back on this one as Bistro keeps the challenge. Kaden will stop Nick in his tracks. Rain to the back wall. Bistro won't read this one. It's in front of the nets. Nick will be there in time. Adapt Esports whiffed on the back wall, and it nearly cost them game 2. But they hold on. Their defense stands tall. And Evolve Nova now look to apply even more pressure. In front, maybe another chance. Rain, Serenyx, it falls through. Evolve Nova with a 2nd straight game win.
That should not have gone like that. 7 shots to 5 towards the end. And what a game we just had. However, there is one slight thing that we need to note now. That I was talking about how if they went to 5 games, they'd be kind of iffy. Their momentum might be a bit shooken. I think that overtime, with how intense it is, with how close it was, I think we're starting to count that as maybe that's just another thing that they got to be cautious about. That's a game that's going to be taking their toll on them. They had so many chances, but also so many defensive mistakes that they just weren't punished on. So what is their game plan going into this 3rd game? Can they get the sweep, but can they also be consistent enough to not have to worry about all this momentum changing? That will be the question in this last game, or in this next game.
That Evolve so far have played so well. Evolve Nova have done exactly what they needed to in terms of getting offense, playing confidently, playing clutch. It's an Adapt side that is not against overtime, and it's a team an Adapt that's known to play overtime. The way they play kind of argues that they should be playing a lot of overtimes, and they're used to that as well. Evolve Nova, they surely they know that that overtime is just something that happens here. As right now, there's a lot of pressure in front of that orange net. Evolve Nova, I don't know how they haven't been scored on yet. They've been a lot of gents in front of that net, but none have gone in just yet. Here's another one from Bistro. Eventually, the Adapt was going to take one. That goes in the back of the net. They've had so many opportunities early on. A goal was bound to happen.
5 shots in 23 seconds. 1 goal to show for it. Wow, unbelievable pressure from this Adapt team. Now, can they keep this up and get a game back?
Guess that challenge by Bistro, and Adapt Esports will push up field again. In week 1, in that match against XP Eclipse, this was the point where they had to start making that reverse sweep. They weren't able to make it. They went to game 5, but couldn't make the reverse sweep. And now, well, now it may not be any difference. Evolve Nova, a play up field. Kaden, look at the dribble from him there. The car control to find Rain. A goal back for Evolve. They tie game 3.
1 shot, 1 goal. Sometimes that's all you need in a game. And wow, what a goal it was. But what can they do? Again, more pressure. Serenyx, can he get the shot off? Nick saves it away. Now, he's taking it the other way. 0 boost, tries to leave to Bistro. However, J-Rod's last back. He's got that 100 boost. What can he do with it? Up on the ceiling, Serenyx is there. Serenyx beats 1, beats 2. Everyone is away. Can they get one? No, they can't. Bistro, can he clear it? No, he can't. He's still in this blue side. Kaden, shot. Is that going in? Yes, it is! What a mistake! The mistake that cost them!
Panic from Adapt Esports. J-Rod jumped, and he was the only one up for it, hit it in his own net. And Evolve take the lead, as you said, on a blunder of all blunders from J-Rod. Evolve Nova on a good position, in a good point in their match right now. They just need to hold on to this lead, maybe add a few more goals to it. The pressure is on their side. It is in their favor. But of course, they're looking for more, as Rain will play to the front of the field. Bistro will be met by Nick here as he'll help him out. Adapt Esports continuing to push the envelope here, but they've got to find goals as it's Serenyx. Oh, he's no goal! Serenyx his own goal as well. It's 1-for-1. Adapt tie this game, but it's Serenyx who will be the one with the last touch.
That is it's just unfortunate there. I mean, sometimes that just happens and you just gotta brush it off, be like, okay, GG, go next. And that's what we're doing in this next one. Rain, can he get a quick shot? Bistro saves. Going the other way. 50s, one underneath Serenyx. Nope, Serenyx keeps it there. Nick, can he get a flick off? No, he can't. It is all alone in this corner with J-Rod and Rain 50 each other. Serenyx makes a mistake. J-Rod, can he get it, push it in? No, he can't. Now we're all on the other way. It's a weird touch there. J-Rod has time. Kaden applying pressure now. Bistro's got to clear. Down low, that's a bad touch. Hit it away, there it is. Going the other way. Can they get another goal here to kind of push the momentum back into their favor yet again? There's the shot saved by Kaden. Pregnant is Nick.
Oh
He
my goodness,
scores.
what a touch. That's a great touch. It's a great follow-up too, and I love that Nick is not afraid to jump in. I mean, that's everybody upfield for Adapt Esports. That's a hugely risky play. If they don't score there, they're going to get scored the other way. So that's a risk, but it's a risk well worth it for Adapt Esports. As now it's their lead, but they may need to be a bit more careful here. Another kickoff that will not go in their favor, but once again, they've got a player back to save it as Kaden is there as well off the back wall. It's in front of the net here, but I love the defense from Adapt, packing the goal line with players, and you can tell they're just waiting for those opportunities, and they're really making sure they get the blocks when they need them. As another chance in front, that hit off the crossbar, and Evolve Nova nearly another against them here. They have only 2 minutes to find one goal back here. Serenyx will be up next, but Nick will keep it away. J-Rod chased from behind by Serenyx as Rain goes to the back corner. In front, Bistro stopped by Kaden as Evolve Nova facing the pressure. I gotta get this ball out here as another clear for Kaden, and you can tell Evolve Nova feeling the pressure at this point. A lot more clears, a lot more heavy touches, just trying to get that ball away rather than trying to keep control, and you can tell it's making a difference because at Adapt Esports, they're willing to let those clears happen. They know they can respond to them. It's when Evolve Nova has possession that's really the issue for them.
Yes, and they're trying to find this last goal. Evo Rain is trying to get their Serenyx. Can he get the shot off? Evolve starting to apply a bit more pressure as we're entering the last 80 seconds of this match. This goes the other way. Bistro, can he seal it? 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready, 4 for the go.
It's a 2-goal lead for Adapt Esports. 70 seconds to go, but at this point for Adapt, feels very reminiscent to a lot of their other series here. It takes them 2 games to get themselves used to the series. It takes them 2 games to adapt. It takes them 2 games to kind of warm up, and now they're ready to perform. And Evolve Nova, for how good of an opponents they have, they've got to find a way to come back. Well, that's one way to do it. Serenyx has already scored in the open net. All they need is 1 more goal, and with 64 seconds left, that's very doable.
Don't hold your breath. There is more to be played for in this last minute. What can we do here in the side of Evolve? They need to get this goal. They need to finish this series. They need to go get that break before their next one. Serenyx off the backboard trying to clear it out. They got 50 seconds left to find a solution. Serenyx back on it. No, but he's demoed. Bistro takes his time. What can you do here? Bistro passes it off to Nick. Nick, no redirect available. Rain, Serenyx, 1v1. Bistro saves it. Nobody's there to rebound. Kaden into the middle. J-Rod clears it away. Nick secures that clearance. Now we're back on the side of Orange.
Time running out, as you said, for Evolve Nova, but they've got opportunities, and this one could be their best. Oh, he's missed it. That was open for Rain, and he knows it's a huge opportunity that's gone. Serenyx off the corner. Nick will clear this one away. Rain will keep it back. He's looking for one last chance, maybe some redemption for the missed open nets, but Bistro will hit to the back wall. Kaden can't be there, and Nick will keep this one grounded. Adapt Esports take game 3. The series continues.
It all starts 1 game at a time. Now, what they have to do here is adapt. They need to get this next one. Get this next one. Bring it to game 5. Make them tired. They still got another game ahead of them. Absolutely deplete their energy. Win it. Reverse sweep the game. And then go home happy.
Apps, they are no strangers to this reverse sweep situation. As I mentioned, they've already tried to do this once before on this stream with a bad result to show for themselves. Now they have another chance to do it here against an evolved team that started off so strong, but has slowly but surely been showing that they do have their issues. And there's a reason why they are 2-2 and not 4-0. So I can evolve some issues here. I think just a slow start realistically in this game. They just didn't start off well, couldn't get themselves through, and I think for them, the way that they played early on with a lot of heavy clears, a lot of fast pressure, is not all that surprising anymore for Adapt Esports. They're used to that. Most teams at this level want to play fast, want to play with a lot of heavy clears and a lot of heavy touches. To really separate themselves, I want to see Evolve Nova go for more control, go for more dribbles, go do some of the stuff that we've seen them do that gets those goals. Simply put, a lot of the heavy clears for Evolve Nova have not been it for them. If they want to do something, make themselves different, make themselves unique to the best of the pack, they've got to find ways to keep control, especially as they travel through the midfield.
We are back underway in this game for Evolve. Still trying to just secure this game away, but they have to go through this Adept side that has been absolutely resilient this series. Starting off with a low one in the first game, then going to overtime, and then winning the third in a close fashion, but it was a very, very good play. But now, here we go. 4 minutes left to play in this game. 4 obviously just got started, but can they get a double here? No, they can't. J-Rod, 15 with Kaden. It's back in the middle. Anyone from Adept there? Yes, they are. Nick, can he shoot it? No, he can't. Not on target. Saved. Off the crossbar. Nick, can he get a shot here? He's so close to scoring that opening goal that this Adept side truly needs. And Bistro hits it up, but Hecknick will take it away.
That is not safe for Evolve Nova. It never has been here. And Adept Esports swarming the goal with multiple opportunities, and for Evolve, they're not getting that many chances to shoot in the first place. They're not getting that many second efforts, follow-up shots. It's really one after the other for Adapt. And for Evolve, they're trying to find those quality first efforts, those plays where they don't need a second shot on net. Simply put, those chances don't come often, and they're not going to find that many opportunities to do it. But that's what they're waiting for. They're looking for the chances, looking for the breakaway opportunities, and well, they're going to get them eventually as long as they keep the pressure going. As Serenyx gets around one, has J-Rod's a beat, gets the 50! It is! Oh, what a save! Bistro gets a piece of it, and Adapt Esports, what a huge effort to keep this game even.
Absolutely phenomenal work by this Adept side. Now, can they go the other way? It's a 1v1 favor, not quite there. Now, they got to clear it the other side. The game is back and forth. Still no goals scored as we're 2 minutes in. That could just be on the crossbar, but apparently not. Here comes Rain on 50. Nice 50 to clear. Hecknick, is he there? Rain's there, though. Hayden, Rain, still nothing to it. Hecknick, got to push it on. 40 boost to work with. He missed. They both missed. Bistro to hit it away. Yes, he can. Kaden, where is the rest of the team? J-Rod controls. Now we're going back the other way. J-Rod beats one, almost beats two. Great defense by this Evolve side. Bistro, can he go up? Yes, he can. Down Nick. Nick shoot, 0 boost. J-Rod gets demoed. Rain has got to control it. This is where it really matters, in this midfield area. Bistro, can he get one? No, he can't. It's so close. Who will break this deadlock between these two teams?
Esports have been closing in, but you said it as well, Evolve Nova. If they can win the midfield, they will find opportunities. They'll find plays that they can score with. This team has not had a game where they've been shut out yet this series. As Hecknick, they'll challenge Bistro, and it feels like the pace has really picked up at the latter point of this game. It's faster, it's more aggressive, these players are more on edge, and you can tell the faster pace means that more mistakes and more abilities to capitalize on those mistakes are going to happen. So these teams playing for that risk, playing to see kind of who's going to be able to keep up with the pace, who's going to be able to keep up with the speed. So far, no answers just yet, as no goals have been scored. Rain, Demo out of the way as he'll get the touch on J-Rod. Now goes Kaden to go. Demo in front. Bistro saves the day as he'll cut across to keep this one out. Now goes Rain. Nick. Will it be out for Hecknick? Says Bistro gets the clear. Kaden, not there! And it's an overcoming for a ball. Adapt, take it. Bistro scores, and inside the final minutes, the reverse sweep is looking now more likely than ever.
There's that momentum. There it is. They got less than a minute left to kind of secure this. They do it. They're going in to this reverse sweep in a very, very good fashion. They maybe to get another one to be a bit more confident so we don't get any slip-ups in the last minute. But you know, this has been looking very good. Nick, goal! 2-0, 45 left. Nick might have just clinched them game 5.
A 1-goal lead is never safe, but a 2-goal lead, you can feel a little bit better about that one at Apt Esports. 2 goals late, it's been a long slog back and forth. The shots have been even, this game has been even, but the scoreline speaks to the team that's been more successful, and that team is at Apt Esports. Time will continue to tick away as Evolve Nova has not scored yet in Game 4. Serenyx, he'll keep control, but they've got to find opportunities. Rain trying to find Kaden. Serenyx can't go for this one. J-Rod will beat him to it. Now he'll go off the corner. It's in front. Kaden, airborne! Oh, he's dropped it in front. And Evolve Nova score one back. 20 seconds left and only one away.
There is hope. There it is from the main man, Kaden, who scores this one. Now 20 seconds left. Can they get another one? Can they? No, they can't. Nick and Bistro smothering this net. No ball can get through. J-Rod on the offensive. Can he get one there? No, he can't. Bistro to secure it. There's the hammer. And Evolve are the nail.
They'll punch through once more. 6 seconds. But I think this game is all wraps. At Apt Esports, looking to create the reverse sweep here in week 3. Evolve Nova went off to such a good start, but you know this at Apt side. Their name says it. They find ways to play adaptation. They find ways to find what you're doing and to find the weaknesses in your playstyle. And they found them here in Game 4. A tied series as we go to Game 5. 1 game in it now. The next one that will decide our first winner of the night.
Game 5 decides champions, as in the champions field that we play on and that we all know and love. This is where it all comes together. This may be a league game, but this is where you need to prove yourself. Can you clutch up in the dying moments? And we are about to witness that masterpiece.
Game 5 quickly approaches, and I'm sure these teams are very much not ready for it, but that's how matches like these often get decided here, as teams close to each other, teams finding ways to be close to each other. There's some real pressure on this one, and I'm sure these teams are all but ready to experience that one. So let's go to Game 5. Let's go decide a winner for our match. Reminder, this is only the first of 2 matches tonight for Evolve. Not going the way they wanted to later tonight. They play against Solis Path Vanguard, so they got another match after this one that is just as tough as well. So, I mean, at this point, they're going to be focusing on just winning this game, getting themselves some positive messages going into that second series for Adapt. Their season has not been great. They need wins. Both these teams need wins desperately. This game matters so much because, again, reminder, both these teams sitting on the cusp of that eighth spot, that that difference between making that final bracket and being eliminated in the regular season. And while we still have a long season to go, every goal matters, every win matters. And Evolve Nova get off to a good start with Serenyx. They have not scored first since Game 2. That is a huge goal. They needed it.
You know, there it is. There's that momentum that they desperately needed. Can they continue this? If you win by a couple goals in this Game 5, you kind of solidify like, hey, those 2 that we lost, kind of unfortunate. We go next. And now, here we are. But J-Rod to kind of cut down the lead, but he can't quite do it. But Nick, Bistro here. There it is. Nothing away for this Adept side. Adept coming back. Nick kind of been playing the main goal scorer of this series. However, he's been also the captain of this team. He every time that we see them on the ball, he is up there. He's pushing for it. But now, what can we see here from this Evolve side? They play another game tonight, as we said. They need to secure this one to get all those, you know, maybe butterflies after the first series, but you can't be having that on your second one. And we got a Rule 1. Is it broken? Yes, it is. Could we see something from that? I know I believe in bad juju, so we'll see what happens there. Drops down. Nothing in the way. J-Rod controls, beats one. Bistro on the backside. Two in front. There's one. Can he get the double? No, he can't. Rain, can he clear it away? It's awkward. And Serenyx has to take control and get this ball out of this orange side, but it's still here. Bistro pinches it through the middle. There, the clear. Now Nick, his last back, but J-Rod, can he 15? No, he can't. Zero boost. Here's the shot. Kaden, can he make it? No, he can't. Saved by Nick. Then Serenyx punches it in for the second goal.
At Esports, it looks like it's deja vu all over again. They get all this way down to Game 5, and they struggle. They've had a history of struggling at this moment on Game 5. Whenever the pressure gets high, they don't seem to perform very well. And it may just be happening all over again here against Evolve. 3 minutes to go, and they gotta get it. I don't know if it's butterflies, as you said. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what it is with them, but they've got to find a way to not let the history of their bad performances on Game 5 get the better of them, because right now it's showing, and if this continues, they will have no chance at beating Evolve.
Yeah, these little mistakes that we're seeing, miss, whiff hits, all of these small little things that you know that we saw them do in games 3 and 4, they're all showing their bad side now as Kaden takes control. Bistro dunks him. A couple awkward players here in this midfield for Evolve, but they eventually get it out. Zero boost with Serenyx. He's demoed away. Don't know if that maybe was the greatest thing for Evolve or Adept, as we know that he has zero boost, but we'll see what happens. I mean, Nick, he's just taking control. He's kind of, again, been the captain of this Adept team, but can we see another goal here? Rain to secure it. No, he can't. Bistro, touch, trying to get the demo. Now it is cleared away. Rain taking control as we go into this blue side.
And as you said it as well, time running out here in Adapt Esports, starting to pick up the pace, starting to pick up that desperation, but they gotta get back on defense first. They've gotta get that ball away. Rain in the midfield, Nick will clear it away. This ball goes high. Serenyx whiffed on it. Oh, Rain's gonna be there to save the day, as Evolve Nova nearly made the mistake there to give Adapt Esports a reason to come back in this series. Nick again, stopped by Rain. This one for Serenyx off the corner, looking for number 3 is Kaden, but that will be saved away. But time melting off that clock. Adapt Esports still haven't scored. Time's running out, and if we know anything about Adapt, they're not exactly a team that's known to work well under pressure.
That is clearly showing here. Yes, they've had more pressure. Yes, they've had more possession, but nothing to show for it. 4 shots to 8 in the favor of Evolve with these last 50 seconds. Rain trying to take control of it. Now it's pinched out. They need to get something here. If they don't get a next goal within like 20 seconds, it could just all be over for Adapt. All the hard work that they've put into this will all go to waste. Because yes, you won by one game. You may have won 2, but at the end of the day, that scorecard just shows that whether you win or lost.
Time running out here, and time, well, it won't be a factor anymore. Evolve Nova with a third, and with 15 seconds left, it is going to be repeat history for Adapt Esports, an attempted reverse sweep that just won't be one. Evolve Nova recover in Game 5 and take their first win of the night, their first of potentially 2 wins of the night here, as Rain will look to add one more, but it won't matter. They won't need to score anymore. Evolve Nova will take Game 5, prevent the reverse sweep, and win the series against Adapt Esports. As soon as this ball hits the floor. It is confirmed. Evolve Nova with their first win of the night in their doubleheader, and a win that they'll be happy to take. It may have taken longer than they wanted to, but a win nonetheless, and some positive momentum in going into their next series against Solus Path Vanguard.
And there is the game in favor of Evolve. What a series. I'm so glad that I could have been on the desk for that one, because that was an absolute thriller. Back and forth in the series, but in the games it was all very one-sided, whether it was to adapt or whether it was to evolve, and in the end it's just all about who had that clutch factor.
It is, and that answer is Evolve. But again, reminder, it's only their first match of the night. They'll have another one coming up right after this. They play Solus Path Vanguard next. Now, the 3-2 Evolve Nova now taking on the 2-2 Vanguard. We're going to go to a break and set that series up. When we come back, Evolve will be back, and they'll be taking on Solus Path. We'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody! Thank you for waiting for us here. We are back, and we're back with Week 3. The doubleheader continues. Evolve Nova just won 3-2, preventing the reverse sweep of Adapt Esports. Now, their next match against another 2-2 team, Solus Path SP Vanguard. We are back once again for another series. And it's another best of 5, and once again joining us as well is Alex here. So we've got one more match. Evolve, we talked about it, have that momentum, just won their last series, and I take on another solid 2-2 team. And another win here could be a huge shifting of the standings here. They're trying to move up a couple times, they're trying to move up a couple places. A win here would be, once again, huge for this Evolve side, especially since this is their last match in Week 3. They're 3-2 right now off that last win. 4-2 would be an amazing record to end the night with.
Yeah, but I genuinely think that there is going to be some struggle from this Evo side. Yes, they won. Yes, they have the momentum. But it's how much they played. And also that even the hint of a reverse sweep is very nerve-wracking for this Evolve side. I mean, when you're talking about momentum, you're thinking momentum like boom, boom, boom. In their game went boom, boom, bad, bad, boom. So there'll be a lot of questions going into this game.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of questions, but they will be answered. And to answer that first one as well, that this, about Evolve maybe being tired. They're generally not going to be that tired. Teams are generally pretty good. They're playing even after another match, playing fine 2 matches in a row. But we'll see how things go. Evolve once again on the orange as they take on Solus Path Vanguard on the blue. Again, SP Vanguard are 2-2, and again, their season itself has been relatively middling. But you mentioned it, Evolve did just come off of Game 5, and they might be tired. I doubt that they're going to be that tired though. But the big question is going to be, are they nervous? Knowing that last series went to 5, and Adapt is generally considered the easier of the 2 teams that they're playing tonight. They're going to have to pick up the pace. They're going to have to pick up the pressure, especially against an SP team that is definitely not going to miss their chances as Adapt did. Are definitely going to get off to a better start than Adapt did. And definitely a team that is, again, on paper, scarier than Adapt is. Evolve are, in theory, going to have a much tougher time here. They're going to make sure that what they did against Adapt Esports, they put that to work early, and they make sure they don't fall behind.
Yes, this Vanguard team is firing on all cylinders right off the bat. Yes, they have no shots to show for it. However, look at the pressure that is coming in from this Vanguard side. And Serenyx, can he do something here against Serenyx? He's got one. Don Aces, he's got to clear. Yes, he can. And now going the other way. All of them are on one side, this Evo team. Kaden. They make some magic happen here. It's down to Dino Man. Serenyx cuts off Don Aces. That's the shot. Drapak still out in front, defending his net with everything he's got. Now we're rotating to this orange side. Great flick. Is that in? No, it's not. Kaden clears it with a pinch off the bar. Now, more pressure coming from this Vanguard team. Can they do it? Will.
Well, we'll see if they can find some goals. They're putting on a lot of pressure already. A lot of long shots and a lot of 1v1 plays as well. It's Vanguard really trying to play that 1v1 individualistic way, and it's right now it's working. They're finding openings. Evolve, again, are trying to keep space between each other. So you're going to see a lot of these 1v1 plays that SP Vanguard are definitely finding themselves better in, but pressure continues here as Serenyx will clear it away. Dino Man off the side wall. Serenyx once more as Kaden will go to the side wall as he'll keep on moving. This one to the ceiling. Kaden off the back wall. Serenyx jumps in range, trying to find the touch, but Dino Man will block, and it will be kept away as SP Vanguard trying to find that first goal off the back wall. Nothing happening there. As a bump as well. Serenyx on a race on the field. You saw the openings being made, and now they're here. The shot is saved by Dino Man, and SP Vanguard clear this one away. No goals just yet, but plenty of opportunities.
The fact that we're still at 0-0 is absolutely mind-boggling to me. I mean, the pressure coming from not just one of these teams, but from both teams. It's crazy to think that this is the first game this is how it's going to be every single game. We might see another game 5 here. We might even see an overtime come in. Maybe even in this first game, if nobody can find a goal within this first 5 minutes. I know it's rare, but you know what? I'm all in for it. A 0-0 overtime? Count me in.
It's definitely not common. Rocket League is a game where you generally don't see overtime, but it does happen, and well, you're not wrong. It does happen in Game 1. It does happen when no goals get scored. But these teams still attacking, and still with a minute to go. We can't say it's overtime just yet, when there's still so much time on the clock, and all these teams need is one good chance, as Cyrano Puck will do just that. There will not be a 0-0 scoreline anymore. Cyrano Puck breaks the deadlock.
Beautiful, beautiful shot. Absolutely phenomenal. And now we are back underway, minute left, 1-0 in favor of Vanguard. Now Evolve are the ones chasing the prey.
Stops in the air as SP Vanguard will look to keep control, but they won't keep the ball very long as Rain will go again. Sotopak on the dribble, the goal scorer could be a game winner for Solus Path. Dino Man will move things in field, a chance in front will be kept away. Caden to the sidewall, another touch as well as he'll jump in, the bump is made, but will be once again cleared back as Serenyx will be next to it. But SP Vanguard, I don't have here a lot of challenges, a lot of aggressive play. Vanguard keeping that ball back as Evolve Nova have just not been very successful so far. Serenyx. Oh, it's a whiff! It's off the post! Still in front! He'll take it! One mistake was all Evolve needed, and the game is tied.
Double post. Ding, ding, done. 1-1, 11 seconds left. What was it about us not having an overtime? Well, here we are. We might be getting into it. 11 seconds to go. Can Vanguard find a response to that goal? Or will Evo take control of this game 1? We are going to overtime.
Goal series off right here. Tied at 1 each. Inside the final minute, we had both goals scored, and these teams are playing with that aggression. As Caden, Soto Park on the block, as Serenyx will keep things going. The pressure will continue, but again, we'll see how things go. As in front, maybe a chance. Oh, that's hit the bar freely. Chaos as well, but Evolve Nova found themselves trying to play that pressure as Rain. Dino Man to the back corner. Serenyx will wait. Another demo from Sotopak, the only goal scorer for SP Vanguard so far. Caden will punch through. Sotopak racing back. It's a whiff! It's open in front! Who wants it? Caden will be there first. Keep that possession for Evolve, but no one there to challenge with him. They've got to be willing to play that aggression. Serenyx to the back wall. Still Serenyx. Dino Man will clear. As this is left in the midfield. Pinched back anyway. There's Evolve. We'll stay on top of it. Caden will go. And Serenyx will keep the challenges as Evolve Nova. Stay on the offense, stay on the pressure. As they'll look to try to punch through again. Still nothing being made. Over a minute of overtime so far. Both these teams have gone back and forth, but there has not been a goal for either side, and really any good opportunities. These defenses have been strong so far.
I would love to see a heart monitor, like a heart rate monitor on these players during these overtimes, because I just know that their heart is rushing, their adrenaline is pumping. And do we see a shot? Yes, we do, but Don Aces clears it away. Caden down low. Demos 1 still open for them to be able to kind of break through. Now we're going the other way. Nope, defended. Dino Man. Can he get another touch? Yes, he can. Can he get a flick? Yes, he can. Can he do nothing wrong? But now, Serenyx, 50, misses the 50. It's open on the other way. Dino Man's got to get it clear here. There, sir. Ooh, almost there. I can smell a goal appearing from the thick of everything that is going on.
Yeah, and yet there has been no goals just yet. But it does feel like these teams are getting closer and closer to that positive side. Serenyx not able to do much, and it just feels like both these teams doing the same thing over and over again, just throwing the ball up, seeing if they can punch through. I mean, it's going to work eventually for one of these sides, but you really feel like that if you want to be the one to take this game by the horn, take this game by the reins, you got to do something a little bit more unconventional, a little bit different, a little less usual. There just hasn't been that much creativity, and either side really wants to be the one to make the mistake, but you really feel like somebody's got to step up, and somebody's got to find that way to just do something that hasn't been seen just yet. Sotopak, infield pass will not be capitalized as SB Vanguard will keep the offense, but Rain again will find the dunk as, again, nothing really being made. It's Solus Pat possession, they've got to find a goal! That will do it! Sotopak off the pass! And over 3 minutes of added time, but it's Sotopak again. 2 goals for Vanguard, and that's all they need.
What an absolute stunner of a first game from these two teams. Unfortunate the winner goes to the side of Vanguard. However, that was something magnificent. I'm hoping we see more of this. I'm hoping we see amazing games happening, and hopefully we see this high level play continue throughout the series.
As you said as well, high level play so far, a very long overtime, and a lot of questions being raised now that Evolve Nova must answer. Game 1 is over, and they had so many chances, but yeah, this is a much better team on defense in SP Vanguard. They're not going to struggle on defense, on keeping out shots. The real question is going to be, can they continue to keep that kind of pressure? Can they continue to keep that play? That's the real question. That's what these teams are playing for. And that's what we're going to see out of Evolve. And is if they can find more success on offense. Just felt like they did the same thing over and over again. They need to do something different. They need to do something a little more unorthodox. It feels like they're trying to play safe. They're trying to play more of a casual style. And clearly it's not working. This Evolve team is meeting an SP Vanguard team that's just too good to play against, that is too normal or too simply. You gotta find something different. You gotta find yourself. It just feels like they haven't found their voice yet in the series. They haven't found what they did, what they can do. And well, in a series like this, they've got to be able to find something that's going to make them unique.
Uniqueness is the key factor in this. Everybody does the same things over and over. Shot, mechanic, save, assist. But what are you going to do that makes you stand out amongst the rest? That is what you need if you want to be successful in this esport specifically. You need to be creative. You need to be a trend setter. And right now, the trend is looking towards the side of Vanguard. What can Dopak do here? Nothing to it. Great clear. Going the other way. Rain takes control. On Aces gets it away. Hayden on the wall. Pressure by this Vanguard team. Now Heknik has to clear it away. Control 1. Gets it down over Dino Man. Getting another touch, and it's away by Don Aces.
Evolve Nova just have to wait back and watch as Caden will clear this again. Still, though, the heavy clears again, turning for Evolve Nova. It was something that they did last series to very little success. And much to their detriment, they're doing it again here against an SP Vanguard team that has proven that they are good on offense. And Evolve Nova, so many heavy touches, and we saw last series that it didn't work as well. It doesn't work here, and we are being proven again and again it is not a consistent way to win matches at this level. Simply put, for Evolve Nova, when they feel the pressure, they clear that ball, and SP Vanguard, they pick it up, and they score it.
What a shot by this blue Vanguard team. We're back underway. 3 minutes left to play. Can Evolve give us a response to that immense pressure coming out of Vanguard?
There might be another chance here. Don Aces hits the top of the net. Duelist pair Vanguard continue. It's a second goal in a row.
Well, that just happened. I mean, we barely had time to get into some data before they scored another. Now, under 2 minutes still played. And now, Sir Dopak, don't do it to him. They've had enough. Dino Man, can he finish it? Caden clears it away. Rain has to get this ball out of this orange half. They have to find something. They have to break their deadlock within themselves. Still 0-0. There's the demo. There's the goal. It's Serenyx. Cuts the lead out to half.
As you said as well, another goal for Serenyx, and I love it. The explosivity of Kaden to break through. Evolve Nova have been scored on, have had the last 4 goals against them. Now they finally find one for themselves. And considering that game 1 went the distance and went to overtime and they still couldn't get that much offense to begin with, I have a feeling they're going to look to avoid that at all costs here in game 2. But to do that, they've still got to score 2 more goals. They've got a lot of time to do it, but obviously SB's Vanguard has proven they're definitely a team that will find ways to score against you. And it's going to really be up to Evolve Nova if they can find a way to keep that offense of Vanguard quiet.
They keep going down this way. They just can't seem to find another opening inside this Vanguard defense. But Don Aces, can he get a pass? He can't start a pack. Still misses. Dynaman, can he get the shot? No, he can't. Kaden clears it away. But there's danger is still there with Don Aces. Can he control? Yes, he can. Can he beat him to it? Dynaman, can he shoot? Saved by Serenyx. Oh my goodness. Maybe I need a heart rate monitor. Jeez.
A lot of pressure right now, Evolve Nova Nets, and that pressure has been consistent all game long, and it continues to find ways through as SB Vanguard just looking, but they have not really taken that many shots at the end of these plays. They just need to be more realistic with themselves, be a little bit more direct, find just ways to shoot, and just find shots. This feels like they're waiting for the perfect opportunity, and that opportunity just isn't going to come when they keep on waiting for it. Someone has to just take the shot, someone has to take the chance. So far, it will continue to be pushed back as Sudopov will control, has room to work with. Gets the pinch under Serenyx's Kaden to the corner. They have taken the boost at the wrong time. Off the crossbar from Don Aces. SB Vanguard trying to find that 2-goal lead once again. Double commit for Evolve. Kaden will come in through to help them out. Now they'll go downfield, and inside the final minutes, it's a 1-goal difference in Game 2. Evolve Nova trying to clamber their way back to a tie game, find the way back at least to overtime. But SB Vanguard holding them back, keeping offense, and well, as long as they can prioritize those 50-50s, they'll have the advantage over Evolve Nova inside the final 60 seconds.
30 seconds remain. They need to get this out of their own half into the other side's goal if they want to have a chance of winning this game 2. Rain down on the backboard. Dynaman clears. Kaden beats. Can he get another touch? No. Don Aces clears it away towards the net. Rain catches. He's got 1 to beat in Dynaman. Awkward by him. 8 seconds left. Can they get something away? Kaden down to the other end. 3, 2, 1. It's still up. There's the pinch out. Serenyx keeps it alive. Rain not there. Still looking for this opening. Serenyx, can he keep it up? Yes, he can. It's pinched up. There, someone is there. Rain gets it to the middle. Don hits it low. Vanguard takes game 2.
And SP Vanguard continue their run of keeping things close, but finding that control, finding those leads, and finding ways to keep themselves that little bit better than Evolve Nova. And maybe you're right. Maybe Evolve Nova are tired. They just don't look the same this series as they have in the last one. I think it's more so a factor of the fact that not only is this SP team better overall and being able to keep out Evolve, they're not as defensive as we saw earlier from Adapt, but they're also a team that is, well, bringing more offense, bringing more control, and is able to hold leads, is really able to take out time, and you can tell that's really making an impact here on Evolve Nova. They just don't have, they have a lot of time, but they're not able to make that time work for themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw a reverse sweep in the first series of the night. Will we maybe see another one here? Who knows? There's a lot still in play. We are going to be resetting the server, so give us like 1 or 2 minutes. We're going to get us back in. We're going to get the action back started once more. And what are you thinking about, Sporty? This has been a very, very good game so far.
As you said as well, what are we thinking? I'm thinking like right now, we need to see what's going to happen next. And it feels like for Evolve Nova, they've got to find that energy again. They've got to find something new. I want to see them just do something different. Find something new in this game. It didn't feel like they did enough last game. Maybe they got to bring back the demos that we saw in that first series from Adapt Esports. something different, something new, and something that, you know, Evolve isn't expecting. Because right now, they're just playing simply. They're playing with a lot of heavy clears, playing with a lot of control, they're playing with a lot of shots from far. They're not really taking those chances, they're not really getting up close and personal with this Soulless Path team. They've got to do more of that. They've got to find ways to get in the face of Soulless Path. Because right now, Soulless Path, they don't look all that concerned. They don't look all that troubled. Because simply put, they don't have that much pressure against them. They're the ones winning chances. They're the ones holding the midfield. And for Evolve, they're getting very few opportunities, and they're very rarely keeping the ball in that in their opponent's half.
One of the biggest things that we need to notice, though, is the fact that they need to create something. But if you're going to look for demos, who is that main player that is on Vanguard that you have to be like, if he's up, you need to take him out so we can apply more pressure?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to when you decide those demos, not really who gets for them and who's the target. Because simply put, for demos, the way that you make demos effective is by the timing of demos. It's all about the timing, being able to play to where the defenders aren't able to react to demos, aren't able to play to a way where they can avoid demos easily. That's really what's going to be the question, I think, on the minds of Evolve if they go for a demo-heavy playstyle. But again, the real question is going to come down to Vanguard is if they can just keep this going. Every single game's been close, it's been a 1-goal difference, but they've been the better team every single time. About being able to maintain that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's been a lot of pressure from both sides, and going into this game 3, this will matter. Yes, if Vanguard win, the series is kind of over, but if they somehow manage to get a game back, this Evolve team can be explosive. We saw it in the first series. So now what they have to do is that they have to do the same thing here, reverse sweep this team, and get back into it, but that is not a good start for this Evolve team, as Don Aces gets a goal within the first 3 seconds.
Well, that's a quick start here, and that's a quick message given by SP Vanguard that this is a series that they want to happen. They want to end quickly. They want to end soon. They want to be done with. As is Serenyx, almost another one off the kickoff here. SP Vanguard bringing the offense early, and they're bringing the pressure. They want this series to end in 3 games. They want it to be over tonight. They want week 3 for them to be successful. And right now, with the plays that they're bringing, they are finding ways to break through. As Caden will find Serenyx off the sidewall. Dino Man, Don Aces, Rain, Dino Man again. SP Vanguard gonna keep offense, but it's not a good touch for Dino Man. We'll need Don Aces to help him out here, but Serenyx waiting. Don gonna go for the bump. Serenyx will get the block. Now he'll be challenged by Serenyx, but it will be kept out, or at least it would be. A double whiff off a back wall, but Evolve will get rid of this one. Still, the pressure's looming, and now that they're down a goal this quickly, they have time to come back, but they now know that this SP team not letting up on the pressure.
We've seen the pressure from Vanguard all series long, and if they keep this up, it is going to spell the doom for this Evolve team. Don Aces has been the man in charge this game, along with Sir Stopak. You cannot forget the Dino Man plays that we know and love. And now we see Evolve coming to this ball. Caden's got a control. Taking it. Can he go the other way? Maybe gets another touch. 50'd away by Don Aces. It is back in the middle. Someone there. Dino Man, thank you for the clear. Now we have some break in the action. Just kidding. Don Aces takes control. We go the other way. He's at 100 boost. Can he get another touch? It's pinched in the middle. Serenyx is demoed. Serenyx clears. Now we go again.
1 goal still so far, but you can tell SP Vanguard are not waiting to find that second. They are taking the opportunities in front of them here as they're looking for another chance. Serenyx to go. Dino Man will jump in, but the shot won't be good enough as Don Aces will race back. Rain. Serenyx to the corner as Serenyx will be next to it. Don Aces on the block as SP Vanguard will continue to play the way they want to as Don Aces, Rain, Dino Man, It's a great chance in front. Serenyx will not get the clear as it's still SP Solus Path possession. But again, with only one goal scored, you can tell Solus Path why they really want this next goal, why they want this next opportunity. They know how important it is to get that second goal, to find a massive lead against Evolve Nova. Every game has been decided by one goal. Being able to have 2 goals up or even 3 goals up is a monumental lead that is not easy to come back from. As here goes Rain! Oh, he's hit the crossbar. A big opportunity for Evolve Nova. They haven't had many so far this game, but that one will just be wide.
The crossbar is still vibrating after that one. And now they have to go again. Kaden, can he get it? No, he can't. Maybe. Dynaman, great clear. Serenyx has to control, but instead, Don Aces takes it away. 0 boost, Musty. Serenyx clears. Rain, Dynaman is there to intercept. Here we go with this Evolve team. Can they get it clear? Nice. Don Aces taking this. Breezy hits the post. Serenyx still trying to keep this team in it. Kaden clears. Dynaman passes back to Don Aces. Don Aces shoots. Kaden is making sure nothing gets in.
Said as well. Here goes Rain. Serenyx will just wait on the backfield here, and already only a minute to go here, and Evolve Nova have just not found very much to be happy about this game. It is 8 shots to 2 right now in favor of SP Vanguard, and simply put, while they haven't scored again, they've had the control, they've had the reasoning to be successful, and now, well, now they're on the cusp of a series victory via a 3-0 sweep. Evolve need something. Kaden, flip reset. Serenyx can't get there in time. This ball will roll to the blue half, but simply put, SP Vanguard are waiting. They're letting the time tick off the clock. They're taking control, and they're keeping it how they want themselves to. Serenyx beat by Serenyx. Now he gets around 2. Kaden will go back to defense, maybe one last chance to keep this series alive for Evolve. Kaden beat by Serenyx. Rain can't get there, and SP Vanguard yet another win by 1 goal. But it's 3 games straight, a 3-0 sweep, and Game 3 shows you just how well this team has been playing tonight. It may have been a 1-0 game, but I'm going to be honest, that may have been the most dominant 1-0 win I've ever seen.
Yes, and the pressure was on for this Vanguard team. That is how you close out a series. Unfortunate for our friends over in the Evolve team. They now drop to 3-3. You know, that's still above, I guess that is 0.500. So they still have, there's still a chance that they can do something with this. You never know what's going to happen next. And I'm just looking forward to it. I've enjoyed both series that we've seen tonight. I mean, it's been an amazing experience for me. I'm glad that we saw almost a complete reverse sweep. And I'm glad that I was able to see a sweep happen in my first ever time casting for the Serenyx League. And I just cannot wait to be back.
As you said as well, but that means for tonight, the doubleheader for Evolve Nova will end 1-1, and that means SP Vanguard will now advance their record to 3-2. A huge win, a huge performance for them, and what a night it has been. 2 matches and 2 great performances, and what a night it has been. Again, thank you, Alex, again for joining us. Before you leave, do you have any last messages you want to say on stream? Anything else you want to tell the people out there watching?
I mean, those in chat, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. We do our jobs to kind of create a story within the games that we watch, and I'm so happy that we were able to be a part of that for you guys tonight, and I cannot wait to be back in this casting seat.
As you said as well, again, thank you, Alex, for joining us. Thank you for GAYTANA, who is in the back doing our production. And thank you to all of you who've been watching tonight. 2 hours of action now, and thank you all so much for joining the Serenyx League for Week 3. I'm SportyFC. Take care. Have a great night. We'll be going offline, but we'll be back soon enough with more action. For now, take care and have a good rest of your evening. Sleep well, everybody.